Yeah, and
Wow.
welcome back to another episode of the Baseline Bums podcast. It's your host Rob, aka B Ball Archives, and once again, I got the bum AJ up in the casa,
What
and
up?
I wish I could say it was after a satisfying Team USA victory. I wish that I could even say that the Spurs got a win this weekend in the California Classic. I wish I could say one of these two things, but here I am, you know, proposing that we have to have a conversation about a couple of L's we just took tonight. Um, which one would you like to start with?
Uh, no, we're Spurs podcast. Let's start Spurs, and then we'll get to Team USA in a minute. But yeah, I mean, San Antonio Spurs once again look like a team that not lottery picks. Um, some of the shoot yourself in the foot kind of moments. Rob, correct me if you've heard this one before. Came out in the third quarter completely flat.
Right. Yeah, it was not even our summer league teams are susceptible to blowing like third quarter, early fourth quarter leads and susceptible to those momentum shifts. And yeah, that is a something I noticed about the game as well.
Yeah,
But it was nice to see um, a couple of our draft picks actually put together some
for
decent
sure.
offensive outings that led to efficient stat lines. So I do want to highlight Reed and Gillespie for both putting together some pretty efficient nights tonight. Definitely Gillespie, who I was just really wanting to see what does a night look like
Right.
when he is successfully being that offensive engine, and tonight was the night. An efficient 19 points, 7 for 14, 5 for 9 from beyond the arc, nice 6 dimes, couple of steals in open
Yep.
court, and some really good play and help facilitate, and tried to get Reed open on a lot of lob passes. Some worked out, some didn't, but I like the thought process behind what he was doing tonight.
What I really liked too was especially Reed. Like Gillespie was, he played well tonight. He had a couple of dumb 3 pointers, but we'll take those, whatever. But one thing that I was really impressed with Reed was not only was his rebound ability, he had 12 of those tonight, but also just the small things. Like we were talking about the small thing of, all right, I have the ball at the 3 point line. I need to give it to a guard. As soon as I give it to a guard, I'm going to screen and then I'm going to go straight down to the block and put my arm up. And each time he did that, I smiled every single time because those are the types of things I want to see him do. And if that's comfortable going straight down low to the block, put his hand up and call for ball, that's awesome. If we can develop that into something, put him next to Wimby, that's going to be a killer lineup.
Yeah, I think some of his slow-footedness and his lack of switchability does worry me, but it worries me a lot less with Wemby out there next to him because there was a
Yeah.
couple of moments tonight where he was a little bit slow on the contest, and there was one moment in particular where he like kind of gambled on a high post pass and then was late getting out there, and then Kareem Abdul-Jabbar cut on a backdoor. He cut on a backdoor cut and then finished right at the rim, and so I'm like, dude, you are really getting beat if somebody as slow-footed as Robbie Avila is beating you to the basket and scoring if you're gambling in that way. But I think that these are things that are easily learnable, you know,
Sure.
learning how to kind of be a little bit slower or a little bit quicker off your feet, something that's very teachable, but also maybe he needs to lose 5-10 pounds, still remain that really strong enforcer guy at like 255, but also he's a little bit quicker. I don't know, maybe something like that.
Yeah, I mean, also it's the new speed of the game, right? We talked a little bit about it, like he's coming in from college. It's a lot quicker now. You're going against guys that are a lot more hungrier at this point in their careers. So you know, I think he can work on it. Maybe dropping 5 pounds would work, but I think just also we got to kind of take this with a grain of salt for now. He doesn't know his teammates. Can he trust them? Him and was it Miles a couple of times they were kind of going back and forth on some rebounds. Looked like they were getting kind of pissed off at each other as they were grabbing them together. So, we'll see kind of what it all turns out. But I guess we got 3 games under our belt going into summer league. We kind of have an idea of what this team kind of can look like. Add Carter Bryant to it, maybe he's our savior. I have no idea. But again, for Carter Bryant, whenever he comes into the games, what we're going to be looking for is can he be that number one guy? Can he go out there and go get your bucket? Can you come out with 20 and 8 and 4 or something to that effect? That's what I'm going to be looking at mostly for this next one.
Yeah. I think that's where my head's at is can he just go out there and take the workload of a number one offensive guy and still remain the number one wing defender that can absorb the offensive output of the number one guy on their team as well. And yeah, I think the number one takeaway from these California Classic games, just this stretch of 3 games, is none of these guys are ready to contribute to a winning basketball team right here and right now. And, it's not really shitting on these guys. And I
No,
don't I don't want to just say like they're not good players or whatever, but I think it's more of a testament to where we're at as a 62 win team
yep,
and what the expectations are moving forward. So I think, when we see Reed getting O boards and finishing around the rim in summer league games, it's really inspiring for what it could mean down the line.
sure,
But he's still steps away from even where Cornette has this touch and feel and IQ to the game, and you know even makes Reed look slow-footed when you were looking at what Cornette can do in transition and in switchable moments potentially. Yeah, and like you said, the game and the speed of the game today is on a different level.
yeah, just rookie growing pains. Honestly, at the end of the day, so I'm okay with it. We're going to see a lot more of this. In years past, Dylan Harper kind of covered some of your flaws. Year before that, Castle covered a handful of your flaws. Wimby obviously covered a whole bunch of flaws. So with this new summer team, we're gonna have to get used to just getting the small wins. And I mean, a small win is we didn't lose by more than 4 points today. And hey, that it could have been a lot uglier. It was uglier for a while. We had some good moments. RJ Davis again had a great game himself. So now it's kind of like, all right, let's put Carter Bryant in here and let's see how now they can play with someone who, hopefully has a good grasp on what's going on right now. But it's against the Lakers team, and I'm not surprised that they have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Don't be surprised if he gets on the roster because Luca's like, yeah, that guy, want him.
Well, he's got good touch and feel. Like he has good polish. There's a reason why there was so much buzz around him in the NCAA tournament last year, and
He's
just
just so unathletic.
oh my gosh, I mean, shout out to Coach Leach. He was, he athletic as a camel, and so that's the kind of player I think of when I hear that phrase specifically, and you know, and that's why I say he's got incredible touch and feel and knows where to be. But my goodness, when you test his speed and test his verticality in those moments, you're you're uh you're leaving wanting a lot more. And so that's where Reed was actually able to expose their defense in some of those role situations and able to finish. And that's why you see him go a nice solid 6 for 10 with the 12 rebounds, 12 points in the 25 minutes. It's encouraging to see him do something like this because we know he's got the frame, we know
Yeah,
he's got the size and the
yeah,
strength, and we need him to be a little bit more mobile. And once he develops a little bit more of a touch, I think he could actually be someone to
he'll be scary.
fill that, yeah, to scary as hell and fill some of those front court minutes.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to see what happens, but again, just hate losing. Hate losing. I hate watching a game where the outcome really doesn't matter, and also no one's in the arena on top of that. Like, I think I counted 5 people total in that arena, plus us 2 watching. And I was watching on multi-view too, because I was watching the USA game on top of that. So, I can tell that Reed likes shooting three-pointers, and he gets 1 per game, and he is gonna take that every single time. So, hopefully that can develop into something more than just bricks. But right now, I mean, obviously he's just excited. So I think now that we get to Vegas, it's gonna get a little bit more serious. I think we're gonna see a little bit more polished ball. Hopefully, less turnovers, and then maybe a win or two. That would be nice.
Yeah, just to get some of these young guys used to feeling like a winner going into the locker room after a game. That would be nice. And I second that wholeheartedly. Until Reed improves with the 3-point shot, I don't want to see him shoot any more of them, because he shot an air ball at the beginning of the game. He shot an air ball at the end of the game today. And so it's clearly a couple of steps away from being game ready, I would say, is how I would describe his 3-point shot.
That's fair.
But yeah, I think Vegas will open our eyes to a lot of new interesting elements to our young Spurs team, and this summer league is going to be another interesting test. And like we've said multiple times, we don't have lottery picks, and so this is going to be a bare bones kind of operation out there, where there's not a lot of immediate upside. A lot of guys with long term, will they, won't they have this value? And when we're relying on, Malik Brown and, Reed and Davis, Gillespie to give you this big amount of offense, it's pretty interesting. I
Definitely somewhere
agree.
you want to be.
I agree. Right, that game could have been played at the Y. Seriously, it felt like I could have existed in that game. Well, and when you see, dude from the Lakers, like, with the accountant haircut,
Yeah, Elmore,
yeah, like,
dude.
dude
Yeah,
dude looks like a manager at an Office Depot.
I think he's 31 years old, so that makes sense.
He's significantly younger than me, but somehow he looks older than me, and he just needs to ditch the haircut.
Well,
And
this is like Greg Popovich's wet dream when it comes to a team that doesn't really have a superstar, and then he can just coach, and they can all maximize their own skill set. So this is a Spurs roster. Let's see if we can get some wins and see some we get some good results. But it's going to be an uphill battle, man. It's going to be tough to see. I'm not I'm not really thrilled about RJ Melendez at this point. We can kind of move on from him. I'm cool with that, but just a tough day in the sports world for us because right after or during that time, USA men started and started off okay, like okay, go down 1-0, and then we tie it up with a Tillman free kick that was incredible. I mean, it deflected off a head, but great kick. He does it again, and 61 seconds later, Rob, they come back
yeah,
and score another goal against us. And I don't know about you, but we look like Team USA out there. This is a team that I've seen before. This is the team I'm more familiar with than the one that we saw during group stage. And I think my biggest thing that I said in our World Cup stuff is I'm worried about this back line. Tim Ream is 36 years old, playing center back. These guys are young. I don't see us b- doing well against a team that actually has attacking pieces. And you saw what happened.
yeah. Yeah, Reem, it was the main reason that second goal was given up. And yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. He was not defending the back post nearly well enough, and that was the reason Belgium went up 2-1. And yeah, it didn't seem like we could get our offense going at all. Balogun was like out there on an island. Didn't feel like Pulisic was having anywhere near the type of game we needed him to have. And it felt like Balogun was just kind of getting swarmed. It was 3-1, sometimes 3-2 at times, and didn't have the help up top. And when we're relying on that free kick goal, and the way it goes in is like a tip. It's
Yeah.
tipped in, and then Courtois was reacting appropriately, and then kind of gets thrown off. And so when that's the only thing that leads to a goal, and that's the way we score, it just gives you no confidence. And then when we get stomped, and even old Lukaku is getting in there and joining the action for a
He
4-1, it's tough.
he
It's tough.
outpaced he outpaced Tim Ream, and I was like, if Lukaku's outpacing Tim Ream, then this is gonna get probably worse, and it did. I mean, the 3rd goal was gross. The 3rd goal shouldn't even happen, and then the 4th goal was even worse because 'cause you're trying to press and no one's back there, so Lukaku can just use his body and turn and kick. And one thing that Alexi Lalas and Zlatan were talking about earlier was when Lukaku comes in, what's gonna happen? And Alexi was like, "Oh, I think we can handle Lukaku," and Zlatan was like, "No, you can't." And
No.
sure enough, we could not. But it's a good experience for this team. It's growing pains, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm pretty disappointed with Pulisic. I know he went out with an injury, but this was a big moment for him, and this was kind of one of those, you know, put your name in the record books type situation, and he kind of disappeared. It could have been the Belgium defense and the press that they had because they came out super hot, but also, like, dude, you didn't play last summer because you were tired. And so you took that time off and then you go off early. I get it, it's an injury, but man, you had your opportunity. I mean, dude, he also missed a game, was a second game in group stage that he didn't play. So, like, how committed is this number 10 to this team?
Yeah, I mean, that is a good point. It felt like I was wanting him to implement himself a lot more throughout the game and facilitate and kind of be what Luca Bacchio was to
Yeah.
Belgium. Like, he was getting in all the various spaces and creating the opportunities for them. And yeah, we really weren't feeling that from Pulisic nearly enough. And I could see Balogun getting into those spaces, but he just didn't have the support. And when you don't have the support, it just feels like you're on an island, and it's tough to do anything when you're on an island. And
We
um,
we absolutely look like a team. We look like an American team, 1000%. Like, that's like, I can't. I wish I could describe. Some people are like, oh, what do you mean by American team? I'm like, what you saw tonight, where we're taking heavy touches, the balls is kind of bouncing off. There's no really rhyme or reason. At sometimes we're passing, we're making kind of crazy passes. We're trying to go over the top. We're not working it very well. Like, we're not playing on the outside like we did in group stage. Like, all this stuff, like, that's America. When we start going for the home run and the big plays, and we don't do the small things, and then you see a Belgium team that is just so skillful on the ball that they could just dribble around us or just get past 1, 2 guys and put themselves in scoring position. So it was gross. Unfortunate, USA men's ends here, but all the host countries are out now. So, you know, the best teams are in. So, Rob, who do you have moving forward now?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm still hung up on this loss, and how we shot ourselves in the foot with the little stuff, and we failed to clear the ball appropriately, and freeze failing to clear the ball multiple times. And yeah, but I think moving forward, I think I gotta look at France. I think I'm looking at France as probably that team, but also, I mean, I'm not gonna sleep on Norway.
I mean, Spain looks super dominant
Suspect.
too.
But
They looked really good today.
I mean, they kinda looked good, but they didn't put the game away until the very end. They still gave Portugal a couple of really good chances, early in the 81st, 82nd minute, where I was like, Spain's been dominating this game from a possession and passing standpoint, and Portugal can just sneak away and steal this because Spain hasn't stomped them out like they should have. And so I look at that as like, if you're playing against a slightly better team than Portugal, Spain could get kind of snuffed out a little bit if
I
they're
don't know.
playing a Norway or somebody like that down the line that is ready to attack.
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. The Spain hasn't given up a goal yet, and that's and that's crazy to say.
No, I agree wholeheartedly, but in those same games, I felt like they have also simultaneously like really failed to attack. Like whether it's like Cape Verde or even tonight, it's like their offense looks stagnant and they try to do the old Spain thing where it's like we're gonna pass you to death. And it's like that's really cool, but it's got to end in a goal more often
Or
than
someone
not.
attacking, yeah.
And then in a lot of times it works really, really well. So like it feels like I'm like trying to discredit something that's successful, but it, you know, when
You
it
gotta score goals in this tournament.
yeah, yeah. And a 1-0 victory is good, but it's not great.
We'll see. We'll see. I also have France. I have France. I think France looks the best out of any team right now. Argentina looks beatable. England looks beatable. France looks fantastic. So
Yeah.
we'll see, man. We'll see. It's gonna be fun. Get your popcorn ready. I'm excited about it. We got the best of the best now moving forward. It's not gonna be, some of these teams that kind of squeaked in whenever they extended the tournament. So now things get real. Things get real really fast, like really fast. So I'm ready.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's gonna be really interesting. There's still some massive names, whether it's Haaland, Mbappe, Messi. There's huge names left in this tournament. Harry Kane. How can I forget about
Yeah.
Harry Kane as well? One of the best strikers on
No
planet
Jordan
Earth right
Anderson.
now. Yeah. Oh,
Jordan Henderson. Yeah.
yeah.
Dumbass. Do you see what he
Yeah.
did?
Yes.
If you
Yes.
didn't see what he did after the England beat Mexico, Jordan Henderson, an English player, was celebrating with his teammates, and the advertising LED board that surrounds the pitch, he tried to jump over it, but it had been raining, and his arm just slipped and snapped his arm in half. That was gross to watch, but his World Cup tournament is over.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's such a tough way to end it too, because you don't want to you don't want to be celebrating something positive and then all of a sudden it's turning into such a
Yeah.
dark negative. Yeah, but
Yeah, he literally was taken off the pitch in a one of those gurneys.
yeah,
So, oof, not fun. Not fun. Poor guy.
not fun at all, but dang. Dang, tough for him and gosh, it's tough for the United States. Tough for the United States to sit to kind of we got to sit back and watch the rest of the countries battle it out on our home turf, and I think that's going to be the toughest part about it is we feel like we're good enough to still potentially be in this tournament somehow, even though we didn't play like that at all tonight. And um,
It's not the first time we're gonna feel that way.
it's definitely not the
Definitely
first
not the
time.
last either.
No, no. I mean, and I hope that the World Cup in general does after this come back to the United States and we can defend ourselves in a more respectable manner and not crumble like this you know it's understandable, but the 4-1 defeat and to not have as many efforts on goal is just
Yeah.
it's a little pitiful.
Yeah. It's gross, but when, some of your best players don't show up, this is what happens. But one thing I will say is I hope moving forward, the fans that got into this World Cup continue to watch at least Team USA. So whenever they have a World Cup qualifier or whenever they have a tournament or friendlies or things like that, you're at least keeping up with this team because this is something that I'm really passionate about. I've watched the game, a friendly on this podcast before, and it screwed up my internet tremendously. So I'd never do that again. But I hope more people are into soccer now. I hope they start following clubs. I hope this grows the game over here because as disappointing as a 4-1 loss is, like the 3 weeks that we've had were absolutely fantastic. It was a whole lot of fun. We had a blast. It was great to watch, great for social media. But I just, like I said, I really wish moving forward, they're starting to look at, oh, I'm gonna go follow Inter Miami because I'm a Messi fan now, or oh, who's Mbappe playing for? Oh, Real Madrid. I'm gonna go look at Real Madrid matches now. I just hope that it just continues and we get more people into those Premier League and La Ligas and Serie A's and all that stuff. So just continue to watch the sport, man. It's a beautiful game, and it's even more fun when you have a club.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and you can dive into the lore and the fandom and all the fun stuff of that club. It just makes the fandom experience all the better. Doctor
Learn the chants.
Spurs. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it makes it a lot more fun. Doctor Spurs, what's up, my dude? Good evening. Who are your picks for the chip? World Cup. Um, I that's what we're talking about right now. I'm not sure if you're talking about NBA or World Cup, but right now, World Cup, I think we're both thinking France right now. I think it's kind of where both of our heads are at as of right now. And if you're speaking NBA, it's gonna be Spurs.
You were
The
speaking of summer league. I'm going Wizards.
the Spurs will not be summer league champs. That's for damn sure. How
No, no, no.
how we just wrapped up that California Classic. I mean, I'm just shocked it was a two possession game. I mean, I love what our guys are doing and the effort they're showing, but there's so much polish that is left to be desired.
Yeah, it's like it's those Zach Collin years and the Josh Primo days. It's a tough watch right now. But the good thing is we've done it before. We've done it before. We'll continue to do it. More out of spite, I think, moving forward than anything. But like I said, summer league's gonna be hopefully a little bit better, but we'll at least have a foundational piece like a Carter Bryant that we can really watch and kind of sink our teeth into. And hopefully the pieces around him just get him the ball. Like I would love to see Gillespie to continue with his passing and get, maybe 8, 10, 12 assists at times and maybe some interior passing with Carter Bryant and Reed too. So yeah, summer league. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think those are the takeaways I want to see is can Gillespie gel with Carter Bryant, and will Carter Bryant's NBA ready speed like be something that can kind of get rubbed off onto some of those guys, and they're like, "Oh, that's how we need to start handling ourselves, and that's how we need to start operating." And so I think that's just that first level of exposure that, Gillespie, Reed, Malik Brown, those guys are going to see and be around Carter Bryant. So I think it's, yeah, that's an interesting element, and I'm very excited about that as well. And yeah, that'll be this week. We have our first game Thursday, July 9th.
Thursday. Oh, my parents' wedding anniversary, 49 years.
There we go. Shout out to your parents. That's a long time. Absolutely. Um, well, yeah, we'll celebrate with an episode. No, I'm just kidding. No, but yeah, it's a 3:30 game. So
Ooh.
it's a very interesting. So 3:30 on a Thursday.
Well,
Um
yeah, because you gotta hit the craps table by, like, 8, so you gotta get in and out, go wash up, eat dinner, and then hit the tables.
Yeah. So it's
Actually, probably all these young guys aren't even 21 yet, so
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree, breakdown. Poor US men's national team. They look terrible. Yeah, they looked like a US soccer team of old, and that's not saying a lot because those teams, a lot of them used to be very pitiful. And it was very sad too, because I was kind of counting our chickens before they hatched. And I was like, you
yeah.
know what? You know what? It feels like we're going to beat this Belgian team. And I'm already looking at Spain. I'm already looking at the Spain matchup. And I did it. I did.
Yeah.
I looked
Yeah.
ahead so much to the fact that I brought up a question and I said, when's the last time we beat Spain? And it was back in
It was in the, Federation Cup, before the Brazil, so we're in 26, 22, 18, 27 no. Yeah, 27 was 2017?
It was all the way back in 2009.
Oh, did we no, we drew Spain. We beat Brazil, drew Spain, and I think we lost them in PKs in that time in the Federation Cup.
Oh, dude.
I think that's what it was.
I mean, that checks out for sure, but it's I was literally about to get excited bringing up this game because it was a game where the two goals scored, Josie Altidore, Clint Dempsey, Michael Bradley with the red card in the 86th minute, and we win 2-0 against Spain. Like, what a time to watch US soccer, 2009. Wow.
I was
Uh,
watching. We might have watched that game together, Rob. To be honest with you,
that's what I'm saying. I bet we were chilling in in a random house somewhere watching that shit. Um, that's
good times.
hilarious.
Good times. It was good to see Josie Altidore at the game today, and it was cool to see Clint Dempsey in this production and stuff. But you know, like I said, all host countries are out, so at least we were the last one, just by a day and time type situation. It would been cool to win this game, but I mean, Belgium's also a top 10 team, so you got to like tip your hat to them. They definitely win. They made finals in the last World Cup, so this is not new territory for them, but as someone who is a Spurs fan and a Tech fan and all these other things, like when we get to the 2 yard line and you can't push it through, man, my heart can't get broken anymore. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I mean, it happens. You have to have thick skin. I mean, and the NBA finals is a great moment of that, especially when you're on social media talking about it as much as we are. It's like you got to have thick skin, and when things happen against you, it's, how are you going to deal with it? And this is one of those moments for Team USA, and how are they going to respond? And they're going to have to watch someone celebrate on their home turf, and it's it's so interesting that we kinda crumble the way we did given how potent we looked offensively leading up to this moment, so
Sure.
it's just a little bit of a mystery how we lose this game, but losing this game isn't that shocking to me, and we lost
Yeah.
4-1
It
finals flashback. Oh, no. Oh, no.
it's I don't know, man. Like, yeah, I guess it is kind of your home turf, but if it's like I have like not a whole lot of connection outside of Texas. So for me, I'd be like, I just lost in Seattle, whatever, move on. Like, but if it happened like in Jerry World or something like that, or in Houston, I'd be like probably a little more upset. It's just, it's just a weird thing to consider. And when you have a Balagoon who's not really American at all, and he's like, so is Seattle like by Texas?
It's like, not really. It's this it's a fairly cheap flight, but still a 4 or 5 hour flight, and yeah, that concept alone people don't get. But I feel like it's just one of those things that kind of it brings us together when everyone's visiting us from all over the planet. I do think there's a sense of home and a sense of like where we're from, and yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting, but you know what? We're gonna be looking at the games from the outside. USA eliminated. So, um, regardless of how you feel about it, that is the outcome.
Womp
But
womp.
yeah, yeah. Oh well. Oh well. Any other stuff you want to get to um about Spurs Summer League, any stuff in the future, or any World Cup chat from here on out? I mean, I know we talked a
Yeah.
little bit about the Portugal game or any other game like
Yeah,
that.
Rob, who do you have tomorrow? Switzerland or Colombia?
I think, I mean, part of me wants to say Colombia. I think Colombia has some interesting options. I think you have some veteran presence in like James Rodriguez and like Quintero. Like, you have some interesting attacking pieces that I think I think that it's gonna be potent enough to get it done. I think it's gonna be a low scoring game, maybe like a 1-0, maybe a 2-1 at most, but I think Colombia wins that. What do you think?
I I think it's man, Switzerland's really impressed me, but mm, man, I don't know. That's a good question. I I want to go Colombia, but they're playing in Vancouver, so like the heat isn't really going to be a problem for them. But if they were playing more south and somewhere in the U.S., I would probably pick Colombia more solidly. But I think I'm going to go Colombia too, just in a 1-0, 2-1 type situation again. But I don't know, man. Switzerland's been really good.
Yeah. Yeah, Switzerland has been good. So like it's one of those matchups that like I feel like it could be a coin flip. So I'm just kind of leaning on the guys that I think that can be able to get it done. Timeline is calling Pulisic the De'Aaron Fox of soccer. Thoughts? Dude, I honestly, I that is strong words right there. There's no way that Pulisic disappeared tonight for sure, but I at least saw him do some positive things in other wins this tournament. I think, you know, not a ton of stuff, but enough to where he did more than De'Aaron Fox.
He's really good on his club. That's see like that's the thing is like when you watch him play for AC Milan, it's like, oh shit, like this guy is really, really good and really talented, but also the people around him are extremely talented too. So his job is a lot easier going one on one than it is with the US men's team because he's kind of like the guy. But you know, that's a it's a stretch. It's a stretch. I can see it, but it's a stretch. And Rob, who do you have for Argentina and Egypt?
Argentina is gonna win that game. I know, like, Mo Salah, can do a lot. He's gonna do a lot of creating. There's a lot of interesting pieces to Egypt as well, but I can't deny Messi right now. I can't I yeah
Yeah,
I can't deny the greatness that we're seeing.
no, that's fair. I think I got Argentina too. Yeah, everywhere they go, it's all just blue and white. No matter where they go, like that thing is Argentina has taken over the World Cup for sure, and everyone has a Messi jersey at this point. And when you get to see Manu Ginobili in a box seat hanging out with his kid, you're like, I'm glad I turned on the game today.
Oh yeah. I mean those Olays they're hitting. They're hitting in the crowd. And so yeah, you hit the nail on the head. It feels more like a home match for a lot of the Argentina stuff. Yeah.
Maybe want to get some Argentine beef and do those Argentine barbecues. Those things are good.
Dude, I was loving the Argentina fans looking at all of the Texas pitmasters and being like, "Oh, dude, this is like you saw worlds collide right there." And it was
It's like you can do that.
everyone was like, "Yeah, you can see it. The slower the better, my friend." It's like, yeah, you could see just absolute just happiness, amongst cultures that you wouldn't think may have that much in common, but they
But
they're
once
they're
you put a Spurs jersey on, we're all family.
oh my goodness. Dude, that's how many times that's happened to me, dude. Stepped off the cruise ship in Belize. I see a Manu Ginobili jersey out of the corner of my eye. I go over and it's the
It's
literally
Manu. No,
it's literally the coolest guy I met the whole trip.
that's
And
awesome.
so and yeah, and so it's you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Uh but yeah, definitely some solid action moving forward. A lot of good World Cup stuff to cover in the future.
Yep.
We got Spurs Summer League starting on Thursday, so we got that locked and loaded as well. But that being said, we gotta move on to some dunks. Are you feeling dunky, my friend?
A little dunky today, Rob. A little dunky today.
Yeah. Yeah, well, go ahead and let it fly, my dude.
I'm gonna dunk on Tim Ream
Okay.
for being not great today and giving up pretty much all the goals that occurred. I know Freeze had a lot to do with it, but so he gets a little dunk too. But man, I'm gonna dunk on Tim Ream today. I just absolutely have to. And I'm also gonna dunk on the casual soccer watcher who has watched for 3 weeks and now they're the expert and they decide to text me about how games are going. I'm going, buddy, today, give me some time to digest this. You just jumped into this. This has been going on for a while for me, but I'm going to dunk on them because we're going to see it all tomorrow. The Stephen A. Smiths of the world, the Skip Bayless of the world, the Jeff Teagues of the world, they're all going to be like talking about Team USA and they have no idea what they're talking about. So I would like if they continued to watch and then they have a better opinion about how this went. But we all know that's not going to happen. So give a dunk to them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's everyone's gonna talk about it though, because it's the relevant thing, and I don't blame them for that. It's just whether or not you take their opinion as gospel is entirely up to you. And so, yeah, I think it's a very worthy dunk. He was looking his age and then some tonight.
Yeah.
Um, I I'm
Who you
gonna
dunking on?
I'm gonna dunk on. There's been some. It's been a situation I've been watching unfold, and I have been waiting to dunk on it just because I've been wanting to fully watch it develop over the last couple of months, and that's been the backlash to Obsession, the movie
Oh, okay.
Obsession, and not really like backlash to the movie itself, but the 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 art director, the who was essentially like the props master, costume designer, like she had so many roles on the film.
Mhm.
She made 6 grand working on the film, and after seeing the massive success of the film, it's making hundreds of millions of dollars. She was like, I was a department head, I was, had all these various hats. She was upset about how she was compensated, and I'm you sign a contract and
Right.
you work for said contract. If you feel like you are worth more than said contract, you need to be negotiating for more than that. And I know in the independent film world that's kind of hard, and it's a crapshoot whether or not the thing you work on is going to make a whole bunch of money or whether it's going to make any money at all.
Right.
And so I'm in between, like, hey, you should just be happy you worked on something good and you got paid well for it. But at the same time, they ended up, kind of fighting and protesting the movie and saying, like, hey, we feel like you owe us back, you owe us points on the back end. And, Curry Barker, the director, was kind of like, hey, after the recent success of the movie, I was actually planning on doing that anyway. And he was like, he's like, this all just happened so quickly.
Right.
Like, I was actually planning on doing that. And so you have like this group of people that worked on the movie and they sound like they're super ungrateful for working on the movie now. And then now the director can't even enjoy the success of like this independent phenomenal movie that he made. And it's like, I don't know.
And now the director is gonna get more opportunities. Do you think he's gonna call that person?
Probably not. Yeah, and that's a good point. It's just, and I want people to get paid fairly for what they're worth and what they bring to the table, but you also need to be like ready to stand up for what you're worth, cuz that sounds like something that would have happened to me a while ago when I couldn't articulate my value. And now it's like,
Yeah,
dude, I can list a dozen reasons of why I could keep the camera department from drowning,
right.
and here's why. And so if you're not able to do that, then you may not get paid what you're worth. And so I think it's just an eye-opening moment for anybody and everybody working in film. But man, I gotta dunk on the people that are just like, hey, this is she should have gotten paid way more, she should have gotten paid way more. And it's like, she got paid what she was worth, but I also, I don't disagree with her fighting for the points on the back end, but you got to
Yeah.
negotiate.
Yeah, like, it is what it is. What are you gonna do? I thought
Yeah.
I when he started, I thought you were gonna say the reflecting pool, and I was like, "Oh, no, here it goes." But then you went to Obsession. I was like, "Oh, okay, the cologne." Then you said the movie, and I went, "Oh, shit, I am so off on this one." No, I'm just kidding. But, uh, I think that was a good dunk. It's a weird yeah, it's odd. It's an odd situation because it just seems like you're both just wanting the same thing, but you're getting there two very different ways. And that's when, like I said, I think was it Bert Kreischer's agent or manager said it best. There's two people in Hollywood, ones that sue and ones that work.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. And there's a reality where just obsession doesn't break even. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. There's a world where the movie doesn't work at all. Like it's marketed poorly,
Right.
like Blumhouse, A24 don't get behind it. It's like, yeah, there's a world where it's a complete gamble because they ended up spending like 800K on the movie. And I've worked on so many movies in that budget where you don't get shit back, and they're marketing this bullshit Christmas movie to anybody that will buy it, and it's like, dude, what the hell are y'all doing? So the fact that Curry Barker's sitting there week after week watching, 50, 100, $200 million. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, these numbers are so exciting and foreign to him and foreign to everybody that helped produce it. So it's like, you almost have to let it just marinate a little bit and
You'll get your pay due in some capacity. It's one of those things like we don't have to continue too much on it, but just it's one of those like that there's work coming down the pipeline. Just get me on that one, or get me down the road, or let's sign up for a 3 movie deal or something like that. Like that's how you work in that kind of relationship building type environment. But yeah, I
yeah.
mean, no one knows about these independent movies. Like whenever we were younger, who knew that My Big Fat Greek Wedding was going to be a monstrous success? Like nobody. Joey Fatone's in that movie.
Classic. But it's a gamble at the end of the day, and it's all, yeah, it's all it's all art. Art is crazy and unpredictable. But yeah, very interesting way to end on that dunk. But everybody, if you are in here after the Spurs Summer League chat, little Team USA getting destroyed by Belgium conversation as well, yeah, then we really appreciate you for being in here. We love being in here talking Spurs hoops. World Cup, we absolutely love talking about it as well. But you guys make this a wonderful place to be. You guys are the Baseline Bums podcast family. Whether you're watching the lives on YouTube, the lives on Twitch, we got clips on Instagram, TikTok, audio on Apple Podcasts. AJ's got things popping off on the Twitter. A lot of great content over there as well. Wherever you are subscribed, wherever you're following Baseline Bums podcast, we really, really appreciate you because you guys make this community truly what it is. And we're so excited that we have so much to look forward to this off season going into the 26-27 Spurs season. So much excitement, so much we're building on. And we're going to be covering all of it. And we've got Summer League on the way. Vegas action coming at you on Thursday, and we're going to be breaking it down. So yeah, a lot of fun stuff in the future. But that being said, yeah, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you're following for all of the Baseline Bums podcast stuff in the future. You guys are the goats. But that being said, we're going to hop off here and end this episode the same way we end all episodes. And that's with a go
Go Spurs.
Spurs go.
Go.